guys, welcome back to my channel. Tonight, I'm gonna eat this entire pizza. My name's Stas. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you're new. My name's Stas. Okay, we've been over this. I'm doing a Q&A, and I taught Ned for the first time yesterday. Today I'm doing a Q&A, super chill if you can't tell. I have my tea, I have my pizza, I have my doggo. Kiss me. I asked you guys on Instagram any questions you wanted to ask me. If you don't follow me on Instagram, you wouldn't know that. And my Instagram is right here. And you should go follow me because I ask stuff like that. So, super excited. I love Q&As. I love connecting with you guys. If you end up liking this video, give it a big thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel so you never miss out on a video every time I post. We're almost at 10,000. 10,000. That's crazy. So, all right, let's go. Advice for singleness, how to overcome an eating disorder, and slash not feeling beautiful. So, okay, that could be a lot of videos, but advice for singleness, give it to God. And the best thing that helped me was I said a prayer that said, I said, God, please don't let me have eyes for anybody but you and my future husband, and don't let me wander. That helped me a lot, but more than that, get through your head the idea that your life does not start once you have a man in your life. Your life, or if you're a guy out there, your life doesn't start when you have a woman in your life. So it doesn't start when you have a boyfriend. It doesn't start when you're married. Your life is happening now, and you can enjoy it now and be glorified to God now. How to overcome an eating disorder slash not feeling beautiful. I can't say that I don't know for sure if I've ever had an eating disorder. I've definitely had like a bad relationship with food that I'm still overcoming. I would say, this is not gonna sound cheesy, but you gotta pray about it. You gotta give it to God because it is like a big thing. Especially if it is a disorder. That's some hard stuff that you might not necessarily be able to do on your own, but I would say finding yourself beautiful, something that's been helping me recently is recognizing and being grateful for all the things my body can do for me and does for me every day. And you know, the fact that I am able to have children, the fact that I'm able to you know, walk, and that my body functions well, and that I don't really get sick, and that I don't have any major health compromises and stuff like that. And so different things like that help me appreciate my body, and not just for how it looks, but what God's given me with it. What are your favorite resources to help learn and understand the Bible? The Bible is the first one. There's nothing that beats the Bible. But some things that help, I really like listening to the Bible a lot of times on the Bible app. There's also another app called Dwell, which you do have to pay for, but it's really good. And you can have different kind of people narrating the Bible, different voices. You can have different background noises, like some really calming music and stuff like that, and you can kind of pick and choose, and so that's a really cool one too. I really love certain sermons, so I really love, or I guess churches. I like the Village Church a lot. That's the one I kind of go to a lot online, I mean, but I love that. But the biggest thing I would say is get a good solid Bible. Mine is the ESV study version, study Bible, and I really love it. She's thick, and I like it a lot, and it has commentary on the bottom for all the different verses to kind of help you understand, and maps, and you know, history of the author and everything. So I would say a good study Bible too. If you could ask one person from the Bible besides Jesus one question, which person would you ask and why? This is super interesting. My answer might surprise you. I would ask Pontius Pilate's wife if she believes Jesus is king. That's what I would ask her. Because, and the reason I would ask her out of everybody, and maybe I would look back at this footage and be like, I thought of somebody better. The reason I would ask her that is because there's a verse in the Bible where it talks about before Pontius Pilate put, you know, sentenced Jesus to crucifixion, his wife came to him and said, do not touch this man. Like, I had a horrible dream because of him, basically like saying, in essence, like, don't touch him, he's innocent, don't do this. And I'm fascinated to know if she is saved. I'm fascinated to know if she knows the Lord. Sorry for all the noises outside, it's so hot, I have to have the windows open. But I've always wondered that. I've always wondered if she got saved and if Jesus, like, if the Lord made himself known to her. That's what I would ask. Next, are your parents saved? And maybe some advice for living with a non-believing family. My mom is definitely saved. My dad, I don't know. I lean towards no. I don't really have a relationship with him. I kind of cut ties with him about 3 years ago for different reasons that I won't disclose on here, but I don't know for sure, but I do pray every day that he is or will be, and that God will draw him to him. Living with a non-believing family, that's really hard. I can in some ways relate just because of that kind of confusion with my dad. If they're non-believing to the point where they put you down, then you need to establish a community elsewhere. You need to establish a community. I'm not saying like give up your family, but like you need to establish a community of God-fearing friends, a pastor, or if you really can't find community that way, then the internet is a beautiful tool that God uses all the time. So connecting with people via the internet on Instagram and different faith kind of people who love their faith like you too can help a lot, but also praying for them. Pray for them constantly and pray for God to give you strength and that boldness to speak your faith and for him to soften their hearts to hear you. All right, how do you overcome anxiety and insecurities? And then another question, how do you handle anxiety? I have a few videos on this on my channel about anxiety and kind of how I deal with it. I am on anxiety medication. I'm super transparent about that just because I'm not ashamed of that and I don't think you should be. But I also believe that Jesus is the great healer too. So how do I overcome anxiety and insecurities? It's something that I've come to the conclusion I can't totally overcome. It's something where I've kind of been like, maybe this is my thorn, is my anxiety, but that doesn't mean it's an excuse. So I have different coping mechanisms, different ways to kind of ground myself. You know, scripture is always the biggest thing. When I'm in my word, my anxiety is less. It just is. And my insecurities are less too. Also with insecurities, kind of like what I was talking about with my body earlier, or different things, is finding the positive things about myself and thanking God for those things. So like what my body can do and what he's given me the opportunity to do and stuff like that. But also like finding your foundation in the truth of what God says about you, and that if you're a child of God, then your physical appearance does not matter, but I know it still hurts sometimes. So just finding your foundation in him, and it takes time. It's not an overnight thing. Can you make a video on forgiveness? Oh man. Oh yes, I can. We just talked about this in my Bible study tonight, actually, a bunch about forgiveness. It's something, my word of the year actually is forgiveness, that I feel like God placed on my heart for 2020, and it has popped up in a lot of different ways, which is funny. But yeah, I mean, I can do a video. I think there's a lot of misconceptions about forgiveness. I mean, misconceptions is kind of a strong word, but like, there's a lot of different approaches. Some people think like, oh, it's a 5-step plan, like just do this, 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 and then you forgive them. Like, and it's not always like that. So yes, I can. I understand that it's hard. How do you guys, Okay, next question. How do guys need to be modest? Obviously, it's different than girls, but there still is a double standard. Okay, yes, I do believe that. I think it's kind of a hard question because there are certain things that I don't struggle with that some girls might. So like for me, seeing like guys at the pool with their shirts off doesn't necessarily do anything to me. But at the same time, there are certain like fitness people on YouTube and stuff where like you go on their profile and their banner is literally like a giant close-up picture of their abs. And I get it, like, you have to show your abs and stuff because you are a fitness person and you're trying to show the work and whatever. But then also like a picture of their like crotch and like their butt and everything, and I just don't think that's necessary. Like, I would say there is a double standard, but don't do something that you know is going to attract women in the wrong way. When is your wedding? Where will you go on the honeymoon? Our wedding is March 21st, 2021. So it's 3/21/21, which is fun. We wanted it to be in October of this year, but I am glad that ended up not working out because we were really bummed at first. But with all of this going on right now, I can't imagine planning something with like only a few months to go. Oh my gosh, it'd be crazy. Where will you go on your honeymoon? We don't know yet. Somewhere tropical for sure. We're thinking, so for us, we would rather go somewhere closer, still tropical, but closer and less expensive for 2 weeks rather than somewhere really exotic or like a different like continent or something like Australia or something for only like 1 week. So we're going to stretch our money in that way because we'd rather have more time. So something really tropical, we don't know yet, maybe like the Florida Keys. I actually have a Key West shirt on right now. Or like one of those islands really close to there, or somewhere in Florida. Anyway, we're just somewhere beautiful and tropical. What is your favorite thing about God? Wow, that's really hard. He isn't as hard on me as I am on myself. For a long time, I battled this idea that I had like this 3 strikes you're out mentality about God, that if I messed up a certain amount of times, he was gonna punish me with lightning bolts and all the things. And how patient he is with me. I mean, I know it's kind of cheesy to just say his love, but like, I mean, I think just who he is, that's so dumb, but like the fact that God cannot be anything but good. Like, he can't be evil, he can't let me down because he is all things that are good. The fact that I can find such foundation in that is my favorite thing. How did you know your fiance was the one? I'm gonna do actually a whole video about this. I actually had it planned already, so I'm sorry, I'm not gonna answer your question right now because you get a whole video. It's a really good question. I'm gonna make a whole video about this because it's really fun. How is wedding planning going with this pandemic going on? Thankfully, since we decided not to do October, it's okay. I have some friends that are doing weddings sooner and they're freaking out right now, and I can understand why. It's been okay. We got our venue. We kind of have an idea of what we want to do for food and who's in our bridal party and have an idea of how many guests and stuff, so that's been good. But you know, we haven't gotten really, but also haven't had to do like flowers or anything. I haven't gone dress shopping or anything yet just because of everything going on. But I'm not stressed yet. I'm gonna really try not to be stressed because I want it all to be the most incredible thing. I'm also hoping that flights and everything go way cheap because of all this for our honeymoon. We'll see. Oh, I need a piece of pizza. I love pizza. Okay. What character on Bob's Burgers resonates with you the most? My friend asked me this. Her and I love Bob's Burgers. It's a show if you don't know. I definitely resonate with Linda the most, for sure. She's always just like singing and being random, and oh, she's sassy. I love Linda. Yeah, for sure. Somebody said, sorry. I was told that it is the same God in different religions, but people celebrate him differently based off their stories they've heard growing up in their culture. Almost like God is God and religion is man-made. It's a questionable theory, but I would love to know your perspective. Do you believe this or do you view it differently? I need to bite a pizza for this one. The Bible makes it very clear. There's one way only, it is Jesus Christ. There is no other way. So if another religion is trying to tell you that we all believe the same God, that's not true. It's not true. And so, because there are different religions that do not believe that Jesus is king, or they believe that there are multiple gods, or they believe that it's works-based or anything like that. And that undermines the gospel. Anything that undermines the gospel or is different from the Bible is not the way. So if a different religion follows everything of the Bible, then yeah, I guess, you know, they are praising Jesus, but that's Christianity. So no, there's not more than one way. Not every God is the same God, because there's only one true God, and it's Jesus Christ, and, you know, the Father, the Son, Holy Spirit. That's the one true God. Any other God is a lowercase g God, and it's a false God, and it's from the enemy. It's not the real God. How long have you been a Christian? I was raised in a Christian household, but as for when I was saved and truly, I feel like, followed Jesus, I never didn't know who Jesus was. But when I feel like I truly like took my faith as my own and kind of was like, I'm choosing to actively follow Christ no matter the cost, I believe I was 13. So I'm 24 now, just turned 24, so 11 years. Super random, but I hope you have a beautiful day. Oh, thank you. Cheers to you with my pizza. I did have a beautiful day. I hope you did too. All right, thoughts on birth control. Should married couples use it? Ooh, this is a juicy question. To tell you the truth, I don't know a lot about this. So I am trying to live more of a like less chemicals lifestyle. Just watched a, bless you Squeak, my dog sneezed. I just watched a documentary called Stink on Netflix about like the dangers of like fragrance and things and stuff. So all that being said, I am trying to live a more like nature friendly route and healthier for my body route. However, I do use birth control, but not for like protection of pregnancy. That's not why I use it. I'm saving myself for marriage, so that's not why, but I have been on it since high school for cramps and just like irregularity with my menstrual cycle and stuff like that, so that's why I've been on it. But the plan right now is when I get married to stay on that. However, you know, anything could happen in the sense of like me being like, I'm never using birth control again because of this that I learned. So I'm probably not qualified enough to answer this question, to be honest. I don't feel like I can say should you or should you not use it. I know couples that don't, and they take their temperature every morning or something for birth control. That's great for them. I know some that do use birth control or condoms or anything like that, and it's totally fine too. I don't really have an opinion, but that's my plan right now, is to be on the pill. So yeah. How do you deal with being patient and waiting on God's timing? Oh man. It's really hard. I would say the way I deal with it is remembering that he's not holding something from me to tease me, and that his timing really is perfect. And I feel like the soonest he can give me something, if he chooses to give it to me, is the best time. Like, and the soonest he can, he will, I feel like, because he loves me. And so I just remember that God does not hold one good thing from his children, not one. And that if it was any sooner than he chooses it to be, or any later, it would be imperfect, and I want his perfect. What time in your life have you felt most connected to God? This is kind of hard, because I think everybody has seasons of different things. For me, the first thing that comes to my mind, at least, of such a stark difference was in, I think it was 2018, yeah, 2018. In January through like April or May of that, I was in a really dark place, and I just dug into the Word, and I was in the Bible hours a day, like 3-4 hours a day. So I feel like that was the closest I felt to God, because I went from such a dark place to feeling his closeness like right here all the time. So I would say that's the first thing that comes to mind. Somebody said, I really enjoy watching your content. Thank you, that was really nice. I really appreciate that. What else? Somebody asked opinions on witchcraft. Oh man, this needs like a 2-bite of pizza. All right, you guys know I'm raw and real on this channel. I'm not gonna shy away from my faith. Witchcraft, in my opinion and what I have learned in scriptures, is satanic. It is a slippery slope to fall into, especially with Halloween being about stuff like that. It can seem like a fun game, and even things with like Harry Potter and stuff make it seem so fun and innocent at that level, and then you fall deeper and deeper. Witchcraft calls on the powers of the enemy, Satan and demons, to make certain things happen. So the spells, the ritualistic practices, everything, it is worshiping Satan. And you can't do it and say, yeah, but I'm not doing it, I'm a good witch. Like, there's no such thing. Like, you can't have your cake and eat it too. You can't do it both ways. You are either a servant of God or a servant of the enemy, and witchcraft calls on the powers of the enemy. So it absolutely should not be messed with. It's very real and it's very dangerous. How to show grace and love towards those who aren't so kind. Oh man, lots of prayer. What I try to do is I try to think of myself like 2 days a week, even a month after. And if I looked back at myself and saw somebody treat somebody not with kindness, would I be happy or would I be disappointed? And I would always be disappointed. And so to say, you know what, I'm going to be the bigger person here because the strength of Jesus is in me and I can do that through the Holy Spirit, is super hard, but also very, I don't know, there's like a joy to it. Knowing that nothing could bring you down, even somebody else's bad attitude. And you have no idea what kind of influence you have on people just by showing them grace and kindness. How do you overcome what others will think of you when you're sharing your faith? Ooh, girl. I just remember that I answer to God, and that's a lot scarier or riskier than answering to people. So to think about the fact, to be quite honest, when it comes down to it, instead of getting angry, I think about some of these people who are so hateful to me, who don't believe in Christianity, or they think they do and they have a very convoluted version of it and say that I'm like sent from hell to deceive everybody. Like, that's crazy to me. But I just remember that if nothing changes, I'm going to a very different place than they're going after I die, and that immediately flips me into compassion mode of like, how can I expect anybody who's lost to act anything but lost? How can I expect somebody who doesn't truly know the gospel of Jesus Christ to treat me with love or kindness, because that is found in him? So I try to push away the anger and push it to compassion and more of a sadness, so that I can respond in a more honoring way. Do you do morning and evening devotions? If so, how did you develop that discipline? Oh, it's hard. I'm still working on the discipline aspect, honestly. I do either morning or evening usually one or the other. I will read another book. Usually it's a Christian book, like a Christian self-help book or something. I'm reading one by Jordan Lee Dooley right now. And then if I read that at night, then in the morning I do my devotions and my different stuff like that. I usually do my prayers at night. The discipline, you have to realize that you're not going to want to do it a lot of times, and it's not about wanting to, and it's not about waiting for the motivation. It's about doing it, putting in the work because it's worth it. And if you think about, like, there's literally nothing more important than being in your word and talking to the God of the universe. Nothing. What's your most favorite book of the Bible? That's really hard. No, I don't think I have one. First thing that comes to my mind is Philippians, only because I know I have a lot highlighted in there. That doesn't mean it's my favorite though. I love them all. I don't know. I'm reading the whole Bible through in a year right now, and I have a feeling I'm going to find a lot of appreciation for books that I didn't even know I had appreciation for before. I don't have an answer to that. Comment down below what your favorite book of the Bible is. What city in the USA would you want to visit the most? Ooh. I would want, I don't know cities very well. I would want to visit 3. I want to go to Oregon, I want to go to Colorado, and I really want to go to Hawaii. I've been to Hawaii, but I loved it so much. I'd love to go there. And possibly maybe live in Florida one day. We'll see about that. What's your favorite Bible verse? This I do have. Daniel 3:17-18. Look it up, it's a good one. Ride or die makeup products, foundation, mascara, etc. Your makeup is always so pretty. Oh, thank you. I wouldn't agree with my makeup is always so pretty, but I appreciate that you think so. Foundation, the one I'm wearing right now is the L'Oreal Infallible up to 24 hours fresh wear foundation. It has sunscreen in it, I think. This is in the shade 470. It's a pump and everything. It's a liquid foundation. I really like the setting spray by Milani, the Make It Last setting spray. This is the only concealer I use. Maybelline Fit Me. The eyeshadow I'm usually wearing right now is from the Kat Von D Shade and Light palette. It's usually either, I don't know, Lazarus or Liberatus. I don't know. It's either this like grayish brown tone or this deeper brown tone, just like all over my lid. It's pretty easy. My favorite mascaras, I never buy high-end mascaras. It just doesn't seem worth it to me. So I'll either buy this one, the Essence Lash Princess in the like light blue color. It's like, whoa, it's like $2 or $3 I think. And then I also like the Maybelline Lash Sensation. So those are the ones I usually go for. Oh, my favorite makeup brush to apply my foundation is the Real Techniques. I don't know which one this is. Oh, Expert Face Brush. Also, drinking some tea. Oh, it's not very good. I tried a new, oh, it's not good. Are you getting married? I already mentioned that, March of 2021. So next March. You had a video centered on haters. How would you do good to them as our Lord tells us to do? Sometimes I do good to them just by not responding because, ooh, sometimes I need that strength. Sometimes the most compassionate thing I can do is just delete their comment and not think about it because I don't want anger to rise in me. Someone said hello. Hello. And I think there's only one more question, and it is, what Bible study do you suggest? To tell you the truth, I can't say I've done a lot of Bible studies in my life. I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing. I just normally have just read the Bible. Sometimes I'll do those little plans in the Bible app, and I like those sometimes. I know a few good ones. I think it's like 100 days or 10 days or something to brave. 100 Days to Brave or something. That one's I heard is good. I know Melina, oh gosh, Ciasati, I think that's, I'm so sorry. I think I just said it, butchered her name. She's a YouTuber and I love her content. I know she just released a Bible study recently. So that's probably a good one. I think Coffee and Bible Time, another YouTube channel, has different kind of plans like that. I don't really have one to tell you about, but I do have some book suggestions. Hold on, BRB. Well, these are some books I really like Christian books. 2 are by my man, C.S. Lewis. You can't really go wrong with anything he writes, but these are my 2 favorites that I've read by him so far. The Great Divorce by C.S. Lewis. So interesting. It's a very small book, and it's like trippy. It's a really interesting book. It's really good. Screw Tape Letters, oh my gosh, love it. I'm reading through it again. So good. Definitely recommend. Also trippy, but very good. I don't have it with me because I think I gave it to somebody. Captivating by John and Stacey Eldridge. bomb book. Love that, especially if you're dealing with insecurities as a woman. So good. That's more of like a woman book. This is another book I love by John Eldridge, that same author. Waking the Dead, The Glory of a Heart Fully Alive. This one's really, really good too. Oh, you can't really see it. Really good. And then When God Writes Your Love Story by Eric and Leslie Aludi. This one was good for me, especially in my single days. I might pass that on to somebody actually, but these are some books I really like. There's more that I like, but these are the ones that I had right here. So those are the ones that I can recommend, not really a Bible study, but Christian books. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video and the little Q&A. I know it's kind of long, but I love Q&As, so I hope you guys do too. I always have them playing when I'm like cleaning my room or something. If you haven't already, obviously go check out my Instagram. That's where I do all these polls and stuff. I post on there every single day, either on my feed or in my story. And I love you guys so much. I can't wait to see you again, and I'll see you soon.